Continuing the nodal polarity series with Ra. Today we've got the 25 and the 46 is Rahul.
The 2546 nodal polarity. Here we're dealing with gates that are part of the cross of the vessel of love. These are gates of the G center. And so this is very much about identity. And of course, when we're looking at this as a nodal environment, we can see that this is a nodal environment that's going to be populated by very strong identity. In other words, it's going to be populated by background characters that are really going to stand out in their way and stand out as identities. But it's also about love. And of course, one of the themes of this nodal configuration is that you're going to have an environment very much so in which love is a very dynamic theme, that love is there one way or another. When we're looking at the 25, we have the perfection of action through uncontrived and spontaneous nature. Uncontrived and spontaneous. So there is an environment in which there is a great deal of relative innocence. In other words, it appears that when one looks at this environment, that the activities are uncontrived in that sense, that it appears that life itself is a matter of simply being able to deal with things at the existential level in order to be able to maintain one's particular innocence. If you look at the 46th gate, this is good fortune that may be perceived as a result of serendipity, but derives from effort and dedication. And this makes the 46th gate as a nodal stage quite difficult. Because you see, it's the perception of the environment that you're in is that it appears that the environment is about luck or the lack of luck. It doesn't appear that the environment is about effort and dedication. And in fact, discovering that it is a matter of effort and dedication is going to be one of the things that leads to the fulfillment of the purpose, whatever the purpose may be that's related to this nodal configuration. I mean, after all, the fact that the nodes happen to be in vessel gates does not mean that this is the cross of the vessel. It's just a way of indicating certain values to what the gates happen to be. This is simply going to be a nodal configuration, and obviously the being that has this can have any kind of cross with any kind of profile configuration. So one of the things to keep in mind is that when you're dealing with the 2546, remember there's two loves at work here. One's universal love and one's the love of the body. And the 25th gate is very much synonymous with the practice of religion. That is, that the 25th gate is a gate of the priest and the priestess. And of course, one of the things about the background in a 25 stage is that there's always going to be a certain amount of religiosity, spirituality, even the potential of shamanism that's in the background of that 25. In other words, that this configuration is a very interesting configuration, and yet at the same time, it's very, very deceptive. It appears through the 2545 that the background environment is nothing more than being able to act innocently, in the now, and in that one is either lucky or not. And that appears to be the way life works in the background. Now remember that what the nodal environment represents is an opportunity for you to be able to fulfill your purpose. This is the stage upon which your purpose can be fulfilled. And so for somebody who enters in with this nodal configuration, what they're going to have to deal with is they're going to have to deal with cutting through the appearances that are there. And this is very much the dilemma of this nodal configuration. The other side of that is that there is within the 25th gate the potential that is there in the channel of initiation, this potential of competitiveness. And to realize that the 46th gate is very much caught up in the dilemmas of whether one can be a success or not. And so you have these two forces that are also in the background, that underneath that innocence is actually a deep competitiveness. And underneath that, well, it's all a matter of luck in that sense, is a lot of very hard work in the sense of hard work trying to get to a point of success. In the end, In the end, such a configuration, that is, the stage that's being set, is very much about whether or not one can be content within oneself. Because if one sees the environment and one is able to see beneath the surface of the environment, it can be something that brings a great deal of disillusion. The 2546 is a fascinating opposition. It is an opposition that brings the illusion that needs to be penetrated.